You're off the clock with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose. Long time no see.
Hey Trish, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, it was a very busy week for you as well as myself, and so yeah, we knew once travel and events returned, it would be tough to figure out how to manage this stuff, but here we are.
And here we are. You know what? I think it's interesting because we did anticipate that, but even so, being gone this week and we were both in different cities with different vendors, different clients trying to do different things, but trying even just to coordinate to do a 5 or 10 minute show together was nearly impossible. So it is what it is, right? But we're here now, and it's a Friday.
It
I'm
is.
actually coming to you from the bunker of my basement. My
Wow, you have an actual bunker?
yeah, really.
Nice.
No, my air conditioner went out.
Mm.
So there you go. It is in the high 90s, record-setting.
Whoa, is it
I
really that
know,
warm?
record-setting temperatures in the St. Louis area, and if that's always when the air conditioner goes out, right?
Yeah, they're funny that way. And then it's
Luckily,
also
I've never
difficult to
had to.
get like a service call out to the place too, right? Because most people, you're putting a lot of strain on AC units, and yeah.
Yeah, I did learn something. Do you have a ceiling, not a ceiling fan? Do you have a ceiling fan? Do you have an attic fan? Have you ever had an attic
I
fan?
have had one in other places I lived. I don't think there's one here in this house.
So I've lived here 5 years and I have an attic fan and I've never used it because it's very noisy, like it's very loud and scary. And so I started looking into like, should I use this attic fan? Apparently that really helps. So if you're using your air conditioner and you have an attic fan, it actually helps it circulate and use less power for your air conditioner and less strain on
Yeah,
your
they must have some purpose. I'm sure they were installed for some, non-nefarious reason. But yeah, it's one of those
right.
mystery things in the house. You're not really sure what to do with it.
I know. I don't think I ever asked anyone, but I think it's true. It's like, your house gets very hot up in the attic, and then your poor air conditioner is trying to work and cool it all off. So it just makes sense that it gets the air flowing. So even though I will say this, even though my air is not working and it is in the 90s, it's only in the high 70s.
You've
And
got that pool out there. Is that like usable? Is it open? We have not talked about the pool situation.
my pool is open. And let me just tell you what, like last year with supply chain issues where you could not get all the chemicals, it was a nightmare all summer to try and keep that thing clean. Now it's like, oh, throw some chlorine in it, it's fine. So
There you
yeah,
go.
I need to take a swim or something.
It's
I
an
don't know.
alternative.
But you know what? It's like I've been gone all week. You've been gone most of the week too. I feel like all
Indeed.
those things that you take care of when you're here, I had no one to take care of it. So
Yeah.
it'll be a busy weekend. How about you?
Less busy, I'd imagine. No, it'll be good. I hope to do a lot of grilling. I was out. We mentioned we were traveling. You were out in Orlando, Florida, most of the week. I was in Austin, Texas, for a chunk of the week with our friends from Oracle Cloud HCM for an analyst day, and it was really, really good, really interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be writing something on our site about the event. They shared tons of information. This was always challenging about these analyst things.
Yeah.
Is so much of the information is not shareable.
Right.
It's sensitive in nature. It's stuff that's not shared publicly. It's about specific customers. It's about specific business and usage metrics that the companies don't want public, and they tell you, and everybody's under that kind of NDA agreement, which you literally sign. We had to sign them as we walked in, and so that's great. I'll figure out what to talk about, but it was a great event, really super cool. We were at their new headquarters building in Austin, Texas, which I'd never seen before. It's really nice. And the funny thing was we rolled in pretty early in the morning. It was an early start, maybe 7:30 a.m., shuttle bus to the building, et cetera, through the lobby, get your badge, right? Go to the event. Yeah. Then the end of the event, we're basically getting ready to leave the event, going back out through the same way. And all of a sudden, in the very same lobby, we walked in at 7:30 in the morning, which is just a normal, fancy-ish, but kind of empty lobby, was a replica Formula One racing car, because Oracle is one of the major sponsors of the Red Bull racing team in Formula One, which is like the best team. Their driver seems to win every week. Mm-hmm. But it's a very big racing car. And I was like, wait a second, was that there? There was no way I could have walked by this and not noticed it in the morning. And then one of the folks who was working there in the facility said, oh, no, they brought it in like at 11 a.m. this morning and set it up. Took some photos of it. I'm sure everybody was like tweeting photos of it, so I didn't bother because we didn't
Right.
need one more tweet of this racing car from me when there was a whole bunch of them out there. But it was very, very cool and really great event. So thanks to our friends at Oracle for a super event. Lots of great innovation, lots of great success there, and one very, very cool racing car in the lobby of the Austin, Texas Oracle building.
That's exciting. You know what? I think it's like no matter where you go for Oracle, they always have really cool things like that, right? Whether it was it's not a boat. I'm sure it has a more technical name, right? Their big, huge boat that they race.
Yeah, they were always part of the America's Cup, right?
America's Cup racing boat, right? So it's like anything.
Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to do anything in Austin because it was pretty full schedule and it was kind of in and out as well. So in the airport on the way out, Trish, I bought myself some Austin, Texas dry rub for a grilling this weekend from Salt Lick, which is a very, very famous barbecue restaurant in Texas. I've eaten there a couple times. It's awesome. Yeah, and they had a cool store in the airport where I was able to score some Salt Lick dry rub, which I will be applying to some chicken wings tonight, Trish. That's what I will be doing.
That sounds really delicious. Maybe I should barbecue. I'm going to have to live outside, I think, now that the inside of my house is so hot.
Yeah, don't turn on that inside oven.
I'm not going to talk much about mine because I actually did, earlier in the week, I did a little live from SAP Sapphire in Orlando. I know we're going to talk about that on Monday, actually, so I'm going to just zip it on whatever I learned.
We have a special show coming on Monday, yes.
Yeah, we're going to give a little teaser for the weekend. But I will say this. I was trying to race back on multiple flights on your favorite Delta Airlines.
Love Delta Airlines. They treated me very well this week.
To get back to a track meet, and the track meet was an hour and 45 minutes away from the airport. So not only did I have to get on this plane, I swear I took a plane from Orlando to Atlanta, and I don't even know what kind of plane I was on, but Delta had this plane that was full, and there were 32 seats I counted in first class.
Wow, and then, that's quite a big plane.
Like 45-ish, 46 rows of 7 across.
Wow. That's a very big plane for a short domestic flight.
Right? Yeah. That's what I thought, but it was full. It was absolutely full. So I don't know. Have you ever done that? Like where you get on a plane and I'm thinking like, oh, it's going to be like 3 and 3 or something. And it's this huge, I'm thinking, am I going international? Like I felt like I was going somewhere important, but anyway, switched planes. It was one of those things where it was an hour late taking off. Shame on you, Delta. And I only had an hour, like 50 minutes at Atlanta to get to my next flight. Right. So I did the whole like running through the airport, trying to make that flight, made the flight, drove the hour and 45 minutes, like 90 miles an hour, almost the whole way, which I never did.
Unsafe, but go ahead.
Very unsafe and I had moms there at the track meet sending me videos of each of Carly's races as we're going through. We get to her last race and I'm thinking like this could potentially be like the last of her high school track career, right? Unless she goes to state, unless her team goes to state. Mm-hmm. And they did the race and I was 1 mile away.
Wow. How long was the race? If she was doing like the half marathon, you still would have saw something.
No, she's a sprinter and she does 4x1 and 4x2. And so the good news, congratulations to her 4x2 team. They are going to state. So there will be another day.
We'll get another chance. All right.
One more day. Have you ever had that happen? Like where you're trying to get somewhere, it doesn't even matter where, right? And you're doing everything possible and you literally are, like a mile away from.
I imagine it's happened to me. I can't recall a specific example. That's a tougher one. I'll ask you a simpler question, Trish.
Okay.
What would you say? You love quiz time on the show. What would you say, Trish, was the most downloaded smartphone app? I believe this is globally, or maybe it's just America. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The most downloaded smartphone app in Q1 of 2022. I bet you can guess. And it's an app you've talked about on this show many times.
I was going to say, my first thing is TikTok. And then I'm thinking like,
No, you don't overthink it. It is TikTok. Yeah, the funny thing I saw this article. It was on Visual Capitalist, which is a really cool site for like infographics and just data and things like that. So there's the most downloaded apps of 2022. TikTok's number 1. I've got the top 10 here. The funny thing was, of the top 10 most downloaded apps of the first quarter of 2022, I only use one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so real quick. Spotify's 10. I don't use that. CapCut, which is a video editing thing for TikTok.
Okay.
Facebook Messenger is 8. Snapchat is 7. Telegram, which is kind of secure messaging, is 6. Shopee, which I had never heard of, SHOPEE, some sort of shopping app, was 5th.
Right.
WhatsApp is 4th. That's the only one I could say I use
Love WhatsApp.
sometimes.
Right.
Number 3 is Facebook. Number 2, Instagram. Number 1, TikTok. So out of those quick 10, I don't know if you remember them all, Trish. How many of those 10 do you think you sort of use?
Maybe 3.
3. All right. Well,
Maybe
I'm
3.
only on 1. I'm out of the mainstream.
We're not the demographic anymore.
I guess not.
Hey, speaking of TikTok, though, can I give a shout out to, if anyone's on TikTok, please follow these 2 young women. I met them this week in Orlando at SAP Sapphire. They are influencers on TikTok, but they have something to do with what we do with either human resources or supply chain or sustainability. So I want to get this right. The first is Jackie Cuevas, and if it's just the @ symbol and Jackie, JACKIE, Caves, CAVES.
Okay.
She makes tons and tons of TikToks for human resources. She could not be sweeter, nicer, and smarter.
I would have never guessed that was a thing.
I know, right? No, she's adorable and smart and funny. So yes, please follow her. She's got a huge following, 203,000 followers and over 5 million likes. So Jackie Caves.
Most of us have what? Like half that, probably. Yeah.
Right. And then the other one is her name is Megan McSherry. And on TikTok, she is at ACTEEVISM, activism.
Oh, I don't know what that meant. Okay.
No, and let me show you her really quick. So I'll probably talk about her more in the future too, because she is a recent graduate of UCLA with a degree in both supply chain as well as fashion merchandising, I believe it is. But her TikToks are all about supply chain and sustainability, highly on sustainability, which I don't know about you. Like, I feel like that's a little intimidating, like trying to switch my life to be more sustainable. She gives you tips.
Well, you're doing it right now. You're not running your air conditioner. So
I know, right? Look at me. Look at me. No, but it took someone in their 20s to teach me how to feel better about the little baby steps that I'm making in a more sustainable lifestyle. And so I would encourage people to follow them. They're obviously on LinkedIn, but yeah, Megan McSherry, McSherry. She's actually getting ready to launch a brand new company with another young woman, and it's going to be a sustainable competitor to Rent the Runway.
Okay.
So all of the clothing and the packaging and all that will be sustainable.
I'm trying to be sustainable by not buying any more stuff or buying a lot less stuff. That's kind of my contribution to sustainability, I think.
Yeah. Her whole thing is that you don't have to be perfect. She's going to go to Starbucks once in a while and have cups that's not right. But I think that's it. I think if you're trying to be sustainable, it feels like you have to do it across the board all at once, and that's not the case. So yeah, so check out those 2 since we're talking TikTok.
All right.
Well, that's probably it for a Friday, right?
Yeah, let's check out. Let's go.
All right. Well, enjoy the barbecue and the rub. We can't wait to hear about that. On Monday, we will talk a little bit more about SAP Sapphire. Thanks to our friends at Oracle for having you down this week. I can't wait to hear more about that, whatever you're able to share. And we'll see you back all here on Monday.